Again, we take in the divine, sacred, and holy breath. And with our exhalation, just try to sink into the center of the I am that you are. If your mind wanders at all about what's on the to-do list for later, just encapsulate it like see it in a cloud just passing by. It's perfectly natural. And we sink as deep as you're willing to go into the center of the I am that I am. What I know about this place within is that you are perfectly held. Just think of how beautiful that feels, to be perfectly held. And if you're willing, just see yourself held however is most comfortable for you. If it's rocked or cradled or just simply held, whatever's most comfortable to you. Let this be a divine hold. Are you allowing a hold? Are you allowing a touch? Are you allowing a caress? It should feel something like, yes, you are my beloved in whom I am well pleased. Yes, I created you whole. Yes, I created you perfect. Yes, I created you complete. It should be so familiar. You may hear, there are no mistakes in me, there are no mistakes in you. I created you with divine intention, divine purpose. Every hair placed on your head was placed there by me. Every hair placed on your beard was placed there by me. So knowing that this divine source energy lives in, through, and as me, lives in, through, and as you. In this divine hold, what blessings, what transformation, what healing will you allow to take place in you, as you, through you, for you, now? Just see it happening. Sink into it, release into it. Know that what's most needed by your soul at this very moment in time is known in spirit. It's known in truth. It's always waiting the opportunity to impress itself even deeper, fuller, more broader upon you, individually, all of us collectively. What will you allow this day as a healing? What will you allow this day as the highest blessing possible for you at this very instant and moment in time? What divine revelation is most needing to be spoken to you in a way you will understand and see? See in your mind's eye a complete flush out of all that no longer serves you, anything that may have heretofore blocked or hindered, deferred, denied, or delayed your highest and best expression of yourself. No longer has any power, no longer has any hold. See it evaporate, disintegrate. Bless and release it, bless and release, bless and release. Now there's even more blank canvas within you for Spirit to have its full sway. No need to fill to breathe in again the divine, sacred, and holy breath. Let's breathe that in together. And with our exhalation out, let's release anything and everything that does not match all that is divine, all that is sacred, and all that is holy. Just release it with your exhalation. And again, we breathe in together the divine, sacred, and holy breath. With our exhalation, continuing to release all that does not match, all that is divine, all that is sacred and holy. Just let it go. All that no longer serves us for our highest and best good, it's not needed. No longer needed to take with you when you leave this place and sanctuary space. And as we return to our normal breathing pattern now, we're reminded that all that is divine, all that is sacred, all that is holy is here and now in this place. It's in this space. It's in me. It's in you. It's the truth about you. And that despite any trepidations, any sense of doubts or fears or worries, know that the universe is orderly and that Spirit can make a way where we may not be able to see a way, and that's in all categories in life. So I'm going to proclaim that this service continues to unfold with ease and grace, a sense of divine intention, a sense of divine purpose, so that each person within the sound of my voice can receive an individual healing, an individual transformation, an individual demonstration for what is most needed for your soul at this very moment in time on our journey and on our path. So to do that, let's just speak our own names out loud in the sanctuary space. Brother Mark, those that we hold in prayer in our hearts, just say the names out loud in the sanctuary space. And Gabe, Joshua, as he continues to recover from surgery with ease and with grace. Vladimir, as he continues to recover from his surgeries with ease and with grace. Tatiana, his mother, and their family. Torres family, Chitjian family, Gomez family, Akmachan family, the Handy family. Ed and Peggy Dollar and their kitty cat at the vet. See each and all as whole, complete, and perfect. Nothing missing, lacking, needing, or wanting. See them as Spirit created each. Divine perfection, divine wholeness, order, harmony, grace. We take this idea of peace now. Let's first find it within our hearts. And we're going to offer now peace through the world. We must first find it within ourselves. Any single thing we want to offer another, we must first find within ourselves. And then when we have it, we have something then to offer. So try to access that place of peace, the peace that passes human understanding. See peace in our family units. See peace in our sanctuary. See peace in the congregation. See peace in the city. See peace throughout the entirety of our city, and now see it spreading through all the freeways. See it now pervading throughout the entirety of the United States. See this peace that passes human understanding now into the cosmos. See it crossing all oceans, waterways, into all areas of conflict, struggle, and strife. Let's call for and stand for peace to have its full sway. See critical aid and humanitarian aid reach those in most need right here and right now. See world leaders change their minds and policy positions toward peace now. No explanation required. See billions and billions of units and trillions of energy units of peace. And we gather with those like-minded to create an eternal flow of peace now that must be made manifest and demonstrated on earth. And join me on this rock of truth where I shall not be moved nor swayed from this place until actual peace is felt, seen, and demonstrated to all. Let anything and everything that is heretofore blocked or hindered, deferred, denied, or delayed this from occurring have no more power. Let it be vanquished back to the nothingness from which it came, and instead be replaced with the idea that peace shall have its full sway. Peace, divine peace, is called forth right here and right now as the highest and best good for each person individually and the world collectively. I know it is the truth. Everything else is untrue. Everything else is temporal. And I see it passing like a wave back to the greater. The greater good is the ocean. Let's just see peace, call it forth, and let's not be moved from this place until we see it on earth. So with the heart that feels good about the word that's been spoken, I know that this and any other prayers that are on our individual hearts are made manifest now with no delay. There's nothing to do, there's just to be. And if you're willing to receive this blessing, just say to yourself out loud, I am, I am, I am. Even now, especially now. I invite you to say and declare with me together to the universal law, which only knows to say, yes, yes, yes. You are the beloved in whom I am well pleased. And so it is. Ashe, thank you. Amen. And Rick is going to come up for the reading.
Good morning again. Compassion in its purest essence is a healer beyond measure. Love, true love, is not a sculptor chiseling away at the other's edges to fit an idea. No, love is a gentle sunbeam that warms a frozen river until it flows of its own accord, shaping its path as its will. To love another is not to demand a metamorphosis, but to offer space so sacred, so untainted by judgment, that transformation becomes inevitable. Not a conversion to some imposed image, but a blossoming into the highest expression of one's soul. This is the magic of love. It liberates rather than confines, elevates rather than possesses. Imagine the sheer miracle of being held in a gaze that does not seek to alter you but honors you as you are. Your essence, imperfections, tangled thoughts, and tender scars. It is to be as you are. See not for what you do or what you have, but for the raw, radiant being that pulses beneath all pretense. A love like this does not measure or withhold. It simply is as effortless and essential as breath. And what a transformation it ignites. A love freely given with no expectation or demand is the balm that coaxes the weary soul from its solitude. Suddenly, the world appears reborn. The sky hums with possibilities. Footsteps become lighter. Laughter spills easier. And the once muted colors of life regain their brilliance. A single touch, a single moment of unconditional acceptance and the frozen parts of ourselves begin to thaw. This is why love, real love, is nourishment. It does not barter affection or obedience. It does not tally shortcomings or issues ultimatums. It stands unwavering as an invitation. Be as you are, I will still love you still. So let love remain untamed. Let it be a sanctuary, not a prison. Let it weave harmony instead of discord, acceptance instead of judgment. In such love, we do not merely exist, we become. Let it last, let it heal, let it be the revolution that starts in the heart. Katie Camara. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. This particular piece of music is the first New Thought song I ever wrote. I had been a hired musician at places like this for several years, and just saw myself as that. David, can you roll off the lows a little bit? It's kind of ringing. Thank you. And I listened to readings and sermons and all that from a place of, non-involvement, detachment. But after a while, it just, after 5 or 6 or 7 years of that, I start to think, man, these are really good messages, and I wonder why the songs that we sing, although they're nice, positive, happy songs, don't say that. And so the way inspiration occurs to me is it's a nag. It's usually me thinking somebody else ought to do that. Somebody really should do that. And then after a while, nobody's going to do that unless you do it. So this is the first song that came out, and it's a little wordy because I had a whole bunch of stuff to get out. Some of the best New Thought songs are, maybe just 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 lines, and you just repeat them, and the power is in the repetition. But in this one, it's the opposite. But this is really about the law of attraction, and so many of the things that get discussed from these pulpits. A thought's a beginning, a magical start. It sets events spinning, whirling out from your heart. Everything traded, bartered, or bought. Each thing that's created began as a thought. Well, thoughts are things. Things are thoughts. Ideas have wings to soar aloft. Dreams and wishes unconfined. Mind matters, matter mind. Imagine a world, that's all it takes. Picture an ocean, sparkling rivers and lakes. Envision an Eden, hold it close in your mind. Believe that it's real. Here's what you'll find: a beautiful pearl floating in space, a place of abundance filled with love's sweet embrace. One vibrant creation, feel the joy of it all. Sense the interconnection of all things great and small. Well, thoughts are things, and things are thoughts. Ideas have wings to soar aloft. Dreams and wishes unconfined. Mind matters, matter minds. from the least of ideas to the greatest abstractions. The universe acts on beliefs and reactions, as within, so without, as above, so below. We move beyond doubt and know what we know. The thoughts are things, things are thoughts. Ideas have wings to soar aloft, dreams and wishes unconfined. Mind matters, matter minds. Thoughts are things, things are thoughts. Ideas have wings to soar aloft, dreams and wishes unconfined. Mind matters, matter minds. Mind matters, matter minds.
Ladies and gentlemen, Al Yankee. And so, good morning, everybody. My name's Brother Mark. I'm a practitioner emeritus, and that means just 20 or more years of service in science and mind-based centers in Southern California. So I want to welcome everybody. It's a casual place too, so if you want to grab something, Holly, if there's anything where you can draw, you're welcome to sit at the conference table and draw and feel comfortable here. I want to thank the beautiful family for coming back again. Did we get to meet you last week, right? Do you know that we heard about you? They said a beautiful family came in. And I said, oh, I hope I get to meet them. So thank you so much for being back here. It sure means a lot to us to see you and to have you in our presence. So today's topic is divine intention. And I want you to just think about that for a minute. And what does that mean to you? And then I would like to share that in the microphone back to everybody so we can learn from one another. I'm going to say the words divine intention, and then see if something comes to you. And just let me know if you have it, and I'll say it in the microphone. Anything? Nobody has anything. Divine intention. Divine creation. Divine intention. Marika, welcome back. Divine intention. Altruistic. Divine intention. Does everybody know what altruism is? Does it mean good even at your own expense? Is that right? Without agenda? Okay. Divine intention? Thoughtful choice? Yeah. Divine intention? Okay, so I'm going to go to my definitions and we'll see. Everybody did great with sharing. So divine intentions refers to the deeper will of higher power. And the reference was to Krishna. I think it's maybe a Hindu term. And it said to engage in human matters and address conflicts. And I think that's really interesting that we could call upon Spirit, right? A Lord of Lords, the divine. We believe in our teaching that the divine lives within us, in, through, and as our very being, that the Spirit of the living God is within us. It's my hands, it's my feet, it's your mouth, it's your lips, it's the words, it's the choices that each of us makes. It's our life's mission and our purpose if we're willing to fulfill it. And then the definition further goes, it is seen as a manifestation of a higher purpose and motivation behind creation itself. You can call it as God's call, refers to the unique purpose and plan that God has designed for each individual's life. And in our center here, we don't really say that you have to pick a word. You know, there's many words. If you can say God, you can say Spirit, you can say universal intelligence, whatever you believe. We're not telling you what to believe. We're just saying to find something. To me, it's more powerful. All of the teachings of the science of mind threads together all the spiritual truths of all the great world religions. And at the same time, in the text, there is a great section about Jesus the Christ, and there are references to Scripture, and there's beautiful, beautiful meditations. So if you want to check out the lending library at the end, please do. And if something's calling you, grab that, take that with you. And find what empowers you. Find what helps you to be most in line with your divine intention. It dawned on me in preparation for today's talk, the word intention is huge, right? I think we've spoken about it many times. What does just the word intention mean to you? What's coming up if I just say intention? I have time. Wait, say it again. Creation, intention, creation. Focus, intention, focus. Okay, everybody's being a little shy, that's okay. Guidance, intention, guidance. Intention, purpose, intention. Inclination for action, very good. Intention. So it's really, to me, it was really important to talk a little bit about intention too. And we're going to even do an exercise. It's not too complicated, so don't get worried. We're going to take some time in silence, and I'll ask a few questions, and you can see if anything comes to you. Intention, you've heard of probably intentional living, right? Or being mindful. Have everybody heard that term, mindful? So that's the same idea where you can live intentionally, which means to me that you're seeking the divine plan for your life, right? The purpose. Why are we here, right? It's a very big philosophical question. And at the same time, it can be, this idea of living with intention can be as simple as being responsible for all my choices, actions, thoughts, deeds, right? Does that make sense? Intentional living, mindful living can be as simple as just setting every day with maybe a couple moments of stillness, maybe even before going into school or into work, where we just set the intention that it's going to be a magnificent day, right? Even if we get some news, a lot of times we are now carrying our news all over the place with us, even on our phone, where we could be taken down a lot. Does everybody hear what I'm saying? We could get a message from somebody that's a sad message. We could watch a news clip that makes us sad or depressed, in despair and fear, right? And that can change. That is an intention to scroll through news feeds, to scroll through social media. It can take us down pretty quick, and then our energy, because we're just magnetic beings, we're energetic beings. We radiate and bring to us what it is, we attract to us what it is we're radiating out. Does that make sense to everybody? Sort of? I know you guys had been watching a little bit online, right, at home or something? Is that true, the family? So good. And we'll spend, if you could stay after, I would love to meet you guys individually after, and we'll talk. So the idea is that it doesn't have to be complicated. Before we even get out of the house, before we even get out of the bed, right? We can set an intention to have a magnificent day that's going to bring you and me our highest and best good. See how simple that could be? So let's try that. And we use tools here like affirmations, which are I am statements. They're in the present moment. They're in the present tense. There's nothing to do except for to believe them. And you only want to save and create affirmations and say out loud those ones that you believe, right? I am, or whatever it is that's in the present tense, that's life-affirming, unconditionally loving. So let's try, I am willing to have the most magnificent day today. I am willing to have the most magnificent day today. And then I always ask the guy in the back, Al, are you? Because we could willing to have the most magnificent day today. Yeah, and then that's just a little reminder, so when we're getting taken down and down and down, we have to do something. If you're living intentionally or mindfully, We can choose, we don't have to, I don't like that word. We can stay in the muck, right? And then it's kind of like a quicksand. It'll take us all the way down to where we could barely just turn up to breathe. That is the truth right now of what's happening in the world if we want to spend our time there. And as spiritual beings, we also have this freedom to choose, right? To freedom to create, freedom because we have free will of what it is we want to do. So that's part of the intentional living too, right? So it is possible to have the most magnificent day every single day, and it takes some effort. It takes some work. And it takes use of your intuition, right? Which is the voice for God or Spirit speaking in, through, and as you. Because it has to be something that's going to lift you up. So it may not be answering an email at that moment, especially if it's a difficult email or triggering email. Sometimes for me, when I get those, I put them aside till I'm really, I feel fresh. Does that make sense? And then I may even send a draft response to myself, and I always read it out loud before I hit send. Is anybody still with me? Because I'm like, I may change the words before I actually hit send. I may actually not hit send. A non-response is a response. And then we got to lift ourselves even higher, so we may have to set aside our cell phones or social media, or limit the amount of exposure we have to news or to even TV. We might want to also figure out what is good for our physical bodies, right? It might be walking, it might be some exercise, might be weightlifting, might be getting out into nature, might be hiking, and what do we eat? If our body is a temple and we're living with divine intention, what are we putting in the vessel that's really a temple of the living God or Spirit, right? I mean, I'll admit, if I start with one bite of a certain brand of Mediterranean mint ice cream, I might eat the whole pint. I try to even say, somebody take this from me. If there's somebody in the house, I go, take the rest from me. I cannot. My intention is to eat the whole thing. So the things, because if we're just eating junk, then we are putting junk in all of our organ action, right? Every organ action, function, cell, and fiber of our being. So we want to be mindful, and we can bless our snacks and turn them into, turn donuts into broccoli or whatever you want to do. You use your power for good. Am I making some sense about the idea of divine intention and living intentionally, living mindfully? Am I making some sense so that we can and also, if we're not ready to go in a place, I think we shouldn't go in. And if we are walking in a place and we feel the energy is that we should exit, I sometimes even exit. And I don't know that I'll go back in, but if I might need to restart. I hope I'm making sense, because that could be anywhere. It could be anywhere. It could be. It's especially powerful when we use these techniques. If we're going to have to make difficult phone calls to just see blessings, make a way where I may not know the way. If it's difficult to get appointments, you can use. We're passing around a crown. Would you pass that to some new people and see if they would wear it to remind you of who you are, right? And if you could see yourself invisibly, you would actually just be like a magnificent cloud, right? You would just be energy units. But sometimes you're also the masterpiece of the divine. So you're created as an heir to the divine. So everything that the divine is, all the adjectives that you can use to describe the divine, also are encoded within your DNA. Is that making some sense? So if you want to call them forth, you have to activate them with your mindfulness. You have to activate them with your intentional living. I hope that makes some sense. So you could start to see yourself not as just the way you see yourself when you're looking at yourself in the mirror, but you're seeing the vast beyond that you are. You're an energetic frequency. It's like after the most incredible rain, like all the colors or the sunset. It's seriously like that. I've seen it before, and that's another story that I've told from here before. But if we could see the energy that we are, it kind of looks like that. It's an explosion of color and magnificent clouds. It's It's a burst of energy. And it's magnificent. Because you're magnificent. Do you know that? It's been beaten out of us a lot in life, has it not? A lot of people have told us that we're not worthy or we're not enough, and it can be anything, right? It can be they don't like who we choose to love, or it could be anything. I don't feel tall enough, right? It can be physical things, whatever. There's a lot of things that are not even in our control. And by the use of this mindful living, by the use of this intentional living, we can live the most magnificent day every single day, and if we stay committed to it. Right? It's a choice. And so we have to almost unbrainwash ourselves of all the things that may have been told to us which really weren't the truth about who we are. Because even if we did some things along the way, I'm sure I have, that I don't even want to say regret. It was just, would I do it again? No. Would I have a choice to do it again? Yes. And I can use my intentional living, my mindful living, to make other choices for myself. And then we got to just forgive ourselves. We got to forgive those that harmed us. That's how we continue to live free. And then we choose our own words, our own affirmations, our own prayers, which are always answered yes. They're always answered by the universe, by Spirit, by God, by this love, by this source energy, by this divine intelligence, by the creator of all and all as all. They're always answered yes. Always. So we want to be mindful and intentional about what we call forth. Because the answer is always going to be yes. Yes. So if I say to you that you are the beloved in whom God is well pleased, or you are the beloved in whom Spirit is well pleased, can you accept that? Or do you want to even try that for yourself? How does that feel? Too much? For some it might be too much. So let's just, if it's comfortable to you, only if it's comfortable, just say, I am the beloved in whom Spirit is well pleased. And the heckler in the back says, are you? So let's try it one more time. I am the beloved in whom Spirit is well pleased. Right. And see how that feels. Do you feel the energy is picking up now in the space? More people are believing it. They're like, yeah, that sounds all right. I am the beloved in whom Spirit is well pleased. And you can substitute the word Spirit with whatever words you want to do, right? Everybody got that? Could you guys feel that everybody kind of got that? And there's a freedom in that knowing. There's a freedom in that knowing, because if, let's say it's true, which I believe it's true. Do you believe it's true? Well, it's a work sometimes, right? Sometimes it's a work in progress to get to the affirmation. When you believe the affirmation at 100%, then it can come true as 100% in manifest form. Does everybody catch what I'm saying? So this idea of living mindfully or intentionally is to help raise the vibration or the frequency to the 100% so we can live in the demonstrated world that we really want to live. It's like our dream world, right? So everybody catches that. All right, there's a couple more things and then we'll be complete. So there's a lady named Dawn Nocera, Nocera, and she did a post in March of 2016, and I cannot believe that it came up as like the second or third thing when I typed in a search for divine intention. Think about how long ago that is, like 9 years ago. And it was kind of simple, and I kind of like some of it, so I'm going to share some of it with you. And I talked a little bit about the idea that there's a Hindu concept of divine intention, right? I spoke about that, right? And it said, in Hinduism, divine intention reflects the Lord's purposeful actions and will, often beyond human understanding, alongside a higher power's intervention exemplified by Krishna to influence human affairs and resolve conflicts. If anybody wants to see or take pictures of any of the notes, you can see me after. So this is based on this person's post, Dawn. It says divine intention isn't something we create, it's something we uncover within ourselves. And our intention is our God particle. So a mentor of this person, Don, described divine intention as our God particle, the essence that defines our truest selves, untouched by external expectations from family, friends, or society. Did everybody catch that? Isn't that beautiful? It's like the original magnificent version of us. So let me go on. It says divine intention means living fully in each moment, expressing our highest potential without reservation and without concealment. Divine intention is not something we set, it is something we discover that is already in us. And I love this definition of intention. When we align with our divine intention, life flows more synchronously, right? You know what I'm saying, right? Inspirations become frequent, and what some may call miracles seem to occur naturally. The universe begins to support us in profound ways, helping us to evolve into our fullest selves. My intention is to be me. This is Dawn's words, but don't you love that? Let's say it out loud as an affirmation if you do. My intention is to be me. And postscript, who else could I be? My intention is to be me. Yeah. Do you guys feel that a little bit? It's cool because it doesn't really matter if you're living from this divine purpose, if you're living mindfully, if we're living intentionally. We may try as we're growing up, right? I did, I'll admit it, to fit in more, right? Even though there were some places I for sure didn't, and I didn't really fit in, but I tried. We may learn, it may be a process of learning that being you is the gift, right? That's what you're living your divine intention is. It's to be the gift that you are. And did you catch the words that were spoken and were in the writing? Without concealment. Did you guys check that? Without concealment. So you can turn up the volume on you. Be you. All right, and I'm just going to complete this up, and we're going to go into an exercise of just a couple minutes of stillness. So the part that calls us forward from within is who we really are. It's the God particle, our divine intention. Everything else is just matter or the physical stuff that we're made of. It's so beautiful to think of it like that. Our divine intention is our God particle. It's the creative force within us. I think Holly said creation. It's the creative force within us. So if you're uncertain about your divine intention or still exploring who you are, beyond societal labels, let's try the simple self-appreciation exercise. And I'm going to ask you now, if you're comfortable, just you can allow the outer eyes to close. It's up to you. You don't have to. You can leave your eyes open either way. I'm going to ask you to relax and to reflect. So let's first breathe. Let's exhale in the divine, sacred, and holy breath. And with our exhale, release and surrender all that does not match all that is divine, sacred, and holy. And so let's just relax for a minute and reflect in a comfortable position. And let's see if you can tune in like a radio frequency to any feelings you may have about your divine intention. relax and reflect. In a comfortable position, tune into your feelings about your divine intention. Just ask yourself, what is my divine intention? And don't force anything to come. If nothing comes, it's perfectly fine. What is my divine intention? Next, I invite you to appreciate your emotions. Whether you feel anxious, hopeful, uncertain, just appreciate the awareness of your emotions. When you're ready, and if you're willing, let go without trying to analyze or figure everything out. Allow yourself to be inspired by your higher self, tapping into the God particle within. You ask yourself, what is my divine intention? Who do you want to be? Who are you already? Over time, as you engage in this practice, you'll begin to recognize and remember your true essence and what your divine intention really is. And so just allow for your heart space to fill with gratitude. Let's take in a deep breath of gratitude. Gratitude for any insight or revelation. Gratitude for anything that may come. Know this will continue even after you leave, even during the week. It may happen on a break at work or in the car driving. You may have like a aha moment. Just allow this to unfold for you however it is. And is everybody back all the way fully present? Very good. There's a couple closing quotes. And this is from Ernest Holmes' Science of Mind, page 401. We must consciously know that we can use creative power. The more complete acceptance on our part, the more completely we shall be able to use this power for definite purposes. And from Living the Science of Mind, page 187, also Holmes, if you want sunshine, step out into the sunshine. If you've locked yourself away in a dark closet, why not come out into the light? If you've been feeling that everything is against you and no one really cares for you, know that God is in everyone, and meet the God in others and see what happens. And when we were talking, before I do the last couple quotes, was it my imagination or was there a huge loud horn, like a truck horn? Yes. And did you see how it was allowing us to, I think most of us just kind of stayed in the space, right? We were using the exact thing that we're talking about today, that we can live mindfully and intentionally. And didn't most of you block it out? I felt you did. And then I could, when we see a siren or you hear that kind of thing, you don't have to participate. We can just move over. We can even exit. It may be time for that little cup of Mocha Joe or something. Right? we can live mindfully and intentionally. It's tempting, though, right? Isn't it tempting to go right back to the horn? We don't want. So that's the whole purpose of today. And the last two quotes. This one comes from Deepak Chopra. In order to acquire anything in the universe, you have to relinquish your attachment to it. This doesn't mean you give up the intention to create your desire. You don't give up the intention, and you don't give up the desire. You give up your attachment to the result. A very powerful thing to do. And from Eckhart Tolle, not what you do, but how you do what you do determines whether you are fulfilling your destiny. And how you do what you do is determined by your state of consciousness. And so I just want to say thank you to everybody, with blessings to each of you, and thank you so much for being present today. Namaste.
Thoughts are things, things are thoughts. Ideas have wings to soar above, dreams and wishes unconfined. Mind matter, matter mind. One thought that occurred to me as Mark was talking was that it can happen. You can be your more authentic, truer self. As you didn't use those words, but I think that's what you were getting at. Be 100% yourself. And it might not be everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah, and without concealment. I love that in the writing. Without concealment. So now it's our time for our offering. Is that right? So the usher's coming forth, and it's our time for our conscious giving. And if you'd like to bless your tithes and your gifts and your offerings, we could do that together. We'll say this only if you agree. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and my belief. It does great work in the world, and it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
Thank you for giving. Thank you for receiving. And thank you for being who you are. Even if you're not everybody's cup of tea. Thank you for breathing. And thank you for believing. And thank you for being who you are. The universe is flowing with love that's ever growing, and you are the vessel of that love. So thank you for caring, and bless you for your sharing, and thank you for being who you are.
And so let's just outstretch our hands towards the offering received. If you're watching remotely, you can click on the donate now button, right? And whatever it is that David puts in chat. Know that these gifts are sufficient to keep CRS Redlands continuing. It's been in the city 70 plus years, right? So let's see it another 70 plus years. Can you agree with me on that? And so it is. All right, and now I think it's just time for the announcements. I think I'll go ahead and do those today. There's a Ukraine fund. Oh, did you want to? Come on up. You're very busy. Now that you're loaded, and then I'll have the last announcement. You can start with number 2.
Hello. Ukraine fundraising concert is Friday, April 4th at 5:30 p.m. For potluck, bring a meal and dessert to share. 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. for musical guest artists. You may make your donation today in the see-through box in the back of the sanctuary. It's really a great time, great music, great food. Stay after us with service for potluck, snacks, and fellowship, and you're invited to raise for the closing song as the ushers will open up the double doors. And Mark has one more announcement.
Is that okay? So I got speaking of divine intention, I'm going to try something weird and odd. And it's going to start every month that has 5 Sundays. I'm going to try something that came through as a divine intention. It's going to sound weird to those watching remotely because we have on a Facebook group, I think it's like 1,600. Is that right, Holly? Almost 2,000 people, but where are they? And who are they? And where are they watching from? And the same, and we have another CRS Redlands private group if you guys want to join. And I do know some people. I met them during a wedding and during the the service for my dad. And they do watch from other states. So on the last Sundays of the month, I'm going to try something, but it's going to require tickets. It's 100% of the proceeds are going to go to the general fund. I'm going to put a price out there of $49. It sounds weird. I'm not going to turn away anybody who cannot pay. And just to see if anybody wants to, it's going to be called a deeper conversation. What we're going to do, it's going to roll out like this. It's from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. I'm not sure if it's going to be 100% on Zoom or here. It'll depend on how many people want to come. So starting a week from this Sunday, 6:30 to 8:30, the first 10 minutes are going to be just this idea of like meditation. Then for 10 minutes, we're going to see what's on the mind of the people that are there. What do they want to talk about? It could be anything. Even the things we don't normally talk about from here. It doesn't really matter to me. And then we're going to democratically pick the topic. It's going to be then about 30 or 40 minutes on that topic, then a 10-minute break, and then one more hour. It'll be after the 10-minute break, one whole hour, and it'll be interactive. So it's going to be called like a deeper conversation with Bro Mark. It is a fundraiser. I will not turn anybody away, but the people that are on social media, I might turn you away. I mean, for 10 years, we don't know who, I have no idea who all of them are. I just want to know. So you can let David know in the chat. It's a ticket. And then if we allow it to be taped, it'll be 50% off of that to receive the link. Does that sound brilliant? I thought it was brilliant. I know it's weird, but I think it's brilliant. For the CRS Redlands General Fund, 100% of the proceeds. I know it's weird. I'm stepping out of my weirdness. I'm owning it without concealment. How's that? Closing song.
Yeah, but yay for you for giving 2 hours of your time.
Well, yeah, because, listen, even if just one person attends, it's the right one person, right? And I think for you guys, it has to be including your whole family if you come. Right? You know. We've done this more than 10 years here, and the idea is to, I was shocked that people watch. There's hundreds of people, and sometimes if we promote it, it can be thousands that watch. And just think about, what if everybody sent $1, $2, a cup of coffee that they spend? The place would be flourishing, right? And we always do, you can even watch at home, it's like a library on either YouTube or on our Facebook. It's like a library of all our videos, and I think they're going to clear some of them, right, David? So if you like some of them on Facebook, they're going to start clearing those, so you want to capture them and download them to your own computers, and then, but YouTube stays, right? YouTube stays. All right, that was a big announcement, and I appreciate you allowing me the time to say it.
Thank you. All right, get your shakers. There we go. I used to think I'd always be alone, separate, misunderstood. I spend my days in quiet desperation, but on the outside, you know, things look good. Then I discovered the error of my thinking, the lie at the base of all my fears. So simple, it turned my world around. Oh, why did it take so many years? Now I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am knowing with my mind wide open. I am loving with my heart wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am knowing with my mind wide open. Loving with my heart wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open. say. No separation except what I imagine. And I imagine separation's gone way